Greetings, fellow people who are more excited about Christmas than they usually are. I'm apparently called Elf Guy. After a comment on the first video, I decided to use that title. So you may call me Mr. Guy, or Elf for short, or just Elf Guy, or as most people call me, Christian. So here we are, and just to prove how Christmassy things are in this house already, there's the elf with the balloons in the corner. There's the tree behind me, and there's some stuff going on in the window, and some talking books and bells and lights. My wife likes Christmas, which might be why I get so frustrated at traditionally get so frustrated at these OTT of things. But yeah, as mentioned in the first video, I've kind of not being so annoyed by it this year. I see some other stuff here. Can I change the camera whilst recording or not? No, I can't. So anyway, just over here, there's advent calendars. There's Lego advent calendar. There's socks full of sweets. Yes, that is a weird one. Yes, I know. Anyhow, so in this house, elves come. It's like Elf on a Shelf, only you can touch the elves, because that whole not being able to touch the elf thing's it's a bit cruel, isn't it? So our very first elf was Paddy. This is Paddy Elf, and the thing about Paddy Elf is that he's green, and he was like a charity shop elf. So he came along when the twins were like 2 or 3. So we've had him a few years now, and he's also a puppet. And because he's green, he talks like this with a cad Irish accent. Hello, I'm Paddy Elf. And that's the extent of characterization. This guy here is the second elf. This is Edgar. This is actually Edgar Mark II, because the first Edgar lost a leg, or some terrible fate befell him. So we had to replace him with this Edgar, who looks surprisingly like the big guy in the back. But we call him Big Edgar for obvious punny reasons. And this one, well, those two are my twins. This one came a little bit later. This is Twinkle Pie the fairy, and she's my 3-year-old's Christmas elf / elf substitute, because obviously she's a fairy, not an elf, and dying to do an elves and fairies wise old elf voice there, but I'm not going to. So hey, I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing it for effect now, basically, because it's like uniform. I don't wear it all day long in the house or anything like that. Although I did put it on just before my daughter came in the other day, and she thought I'd been wearing it the entire time. Obviously, I hadn't. But I wouldn't do that normally. That's just this whole thing. It is turning into fun. Yesterday, I wore these socks. Caution, elf and safety. Oh, who doesn't like an elf pun? We were making jokes last night about Elvis Presley. What does he say? What does Elvis Presley say when he gets a present? I don't know. I can't remember. It didn't go like that. But what's Father Christmas's? Who's Father Christmas's favourite singer? Elvis Presley. There you go. And because we have elves, there are pranks every single night in December. And sometimes they're cool pranks, like toilet paper was wrapped around that tree the other night. That's funny. Last night, my toes were painted purple, like I'm some sort of goth. Is that funny? I'm not convinced if that is funny. But yeah. So, goth elf. So yeah, basically the crack is that the children wake up, they find a message from the twins, written by my wife, on a dry wipe Christmassy board that says that they've done mischief, and on this occasion they've painted Daddy's toenails purple. And actually it's quite funny, really. And I also got to do this kind of, obviously I knew it because we were watching an old Modern Family episode where my wife was painting my nails last night, and then we went to bed and she photographed them in a kind of sleeping position. I know feet don't have a sleeping position, but actually you'll be surprised they actually do have a sleeping position. So, without going into too much details, it was like me laid on my side with like toenails showing, poking out from under a duvet, as if the elves had taken a photo. Now, the thing is about that is that I then have to do I have to pretend I don't know. So we come downstairs, and I'm not good on the morning in winter, so it's always a struggle for me to get down the stairs. And then I'm just walking around, and the children. I'm walking to the kitchen because I'm going to make myself a Colombian in the Tassimo, and the twins are reading the board from the elf, and I'll get the board. Hold on. Okay, so I've got the board. Here it is here. And it says, hey, Mummy never opened her calendar, so we thought we would. I feel like I should do this in Paddy's voice. Hey, Mummy never opened the calendar. No, I don't know whose voice that is. Mummy never opened the calendar, so we thought we would. Go check out Daddy's feet. Do you like them? To be honest, the editor in me is absolutely screaming on the lack of punctuation in this. But anyway, do you like them? It was very tricky as he kept fidgeting in his sleep. Well done, you all. Went straight to bed, straight to sleep. So yeah, they kind of get good pranks if they do things like going straight to sleep, and then if they don't go straight to sleep, then the elves kind of go home for the night, back to Santa and report on bad behaviour and things like that. I think most importantly, I need to get back to the point, which was the fact that I had to pretend that I didn't know that my feet had been painted. And I think I pulled it off pretty well because they were absolutely convinced that I was shocked and angry. And my son was like rolling on the floor, hitting the floor with laughter at my reaction. And my daughters thought it was hilarious. And then my youngest daughter, the 3-year-old, she told the elves off for painting my toes. And really, what other time of year can you do such silly things and get the children so excited and build the magic? Which is, I guess, what the whole elf thing is about with my wife. But also, it's working on me as well. And I've had my toenails painted for the first time in my life. And it does look like I've got goth feet because they're purple, as you saw. So, anyway, so that's the end of this elf guy update. Elf news. Until next time, elf guy out.